October is Selective Mutism Awareness Month. And this is really scary because it's a personal thing. I have selective mutism. It's a thing. And I've been wanting to make a video like this for years. I just never could bring myself to do it because it's scary. But here we are. Anyway, I used to write a lot about it. Particularly about my own experiences, but also about what I've learned from researching it. Because I currently do a lot of research. Okay, just at first I started researching it so I could understand myself better. But then, it was really fascinating and comforting. So I continued, and it was also very disheartening because there's so many people who fall through the cracks, and they're scared. They don't know what's going on with them, and everybody thinks they're this stuck up, disobedient problem child, when that's not the case. The problem is not enough people know what selective mutism is. So I've made it my mission to help spread awareness for this under-researched. It's under-researched. I've made it my mission to spread awareness for this under-researched and misunderstood condition. In the past, I've given presentations about it when I was going to St. Edward's because I was on the education track at that point. So I had to write like 3 different essays for 3 different classes where I discussed my journey through education and to literacy. And in 2 of those essays, at least 2 of those essays, I don't know about the first one, it might have come up, but I'm not sure. But in the last 2 essays, selective mutism was brought up in this, and I wrote about it because selective mutism affects every aspect of your life, particularly your ability to I don't want to say learn because it's not like it's not a learning disability, but it does impact how you learn. There we go. Because you can't interact the way the other kids do. So the presentations were not part of those essays. It was, so the first time we got into small groups to discuss our essays, and the professor overheard and he made a blunder and was like, well, I heard over here that so-and-so doesn't speak in front of the entire class. And then he was like, whoops, backtrack. Is it okay if we discuss this? And so I took over and spoke about it, and that was a miserable experience. And then the next time, my professor, I can't remember exactly how this happened, whether I went to her office hours and we discussed it, and she brought it up, or if she emailed me first and then I went to her office and we discussed it. Anyway, she asked me to give a presentation about it, so I did. And that was a great feeling. That was a good experience. That was a good one. What is selective mutism? According to the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, selective mutism is a childhood anxiety disorder in which a child is unable to speak in socially expected situations, such as in school, despite having the ability to speak in other situations, such as at home. On speechscience.org, selective mutism is defined as an infrequent childhood communication disorder that often first manifests itself at school. A child with selective mutism may not be able to speak with teachers and or their peers at school. However, is able to speak fluently with parents and siblings at home. If you keep researching, if you keep reading on these websites, there will be a point where they say that Selective mutism isn't something that a child just grows out of. It can persist, even worsen without treatment. Selective mutism can persist into adulthood. Yeah. And because of this whole emphasis on it being a childhood disorder, it has made me feel really insecure and like I can't properly adult because I can't communicate with other people like proper adults should and can. And you know, the world expects us to be able to communicate, but this intense social anxiety disorder, you know, in a lot of situations you just can't. I just can't. And it makes me feel inherently immature, which anyway. So because of that, I came up with my own more inclusive definition. Selective mutism is a rare anxiety and communication disorder where an individual who is normally able to speak in some situations, such as at home with close family members, maybe even friends, does not speak in other situations or to other people or with other people around. It is not the individual's choice to not speak. They become incapable of speech. But I've been telling people more recently, like when the semester first started, and this is not something I've done before, I emailed all of my professors and told them about selective mutism. I've told, I think, one other professor about selective mutism, but that wasn't like, hey, professor, this is what you're going to be dealing with this semester. It was just, I don't remember what the situation was, but she knows. She knows a lot about me. But what I told my professors was that it can become a physical issue. And it's not necessarily always, and I can't speak for everyone, but like sometimes my throat, it tightens so that it becomes I become physically incapable of speaking. The words, they get stuck. They just don't come out. I will try to speak and I'll move my lips, like I'll make the word movements, but no sound comes out. But regardless of it, whether it becomes a physical thing or if it's all just the anxiety, which I mean, you know, throat tightening is because of the anxiety. But regardless of whether it becomes physical, it's, you know, it's legit. The words, they're stuck. They're not going to come out unless, you know, you're able to manage your anxiety. Speaking points. Anyway, so in order to avoid that intense anxiety, oftentimes someone with selective mutism will just start avoiding situations where they're expected to speak. They won't volunteer in class, they will either not make any friends or they'll make very few friends. They are not going to really interact with other kids. They're not going to join clubs because the communication factor. It's a difficult situation. It's a difficult condition to live with. It has certainly held me back from a lot. I know that in high school there were a lot of clubs that I wanted to join. A lot, because for me, there are two parts of me. Like, I have apparently a very outgoing personality, so I've been told, but I also have this intense anxiety, so there's like the constant conflict. So I wanted to join a lot of things, but I didn't because of my anxiety, my fear of having to interact with people. Selective mutism has also given me a unique perspective of the world. Like, I mean, if I was given the option to have never had to live with selective mutism, I would not choose it. I would not choose that option. I would not go that route. Because, I mean, I'm in a unique position to help people. Not everybody can. But I feel like I can, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to spread awareness. And like, even if you get completely healed and you don't have to struggle with it anymore, like, not everybody can. It's just not in the cards for them to be like, hey, there's this thing that I dealt with, this is my story. But I love stories. I'm an English major. I'm a writer. I love stories. I tell stories all the time. Yeah, my favorite thing growing up was scary story night, and one time my mom was listening and she was like, you know, you're a really good storyteller. I was like, thank you. I mean, I'm not like telling my story for funsies, because this isn't exactly the fun story. It's a difficult story to tell, because I'm still living it. I'm still living this story. I'm in this unique position to help and spread awareness, which I wasn't able to do even a year ago. You know, I've made buttons and I've made flyers. Well, I've designed a flyer. This one that I have printed is not like completely up to date. Like, I've edited it. Anyway, yeah, so this has a bunch of information. This page right here, that looks different now. Like, it's not those ugly clouds, it's like circles, and it looks much better. But it's all the same information that I had before. It's a lot of information, and this is like the gist of my story here. This is the behavior wheel. Yeah, so I'll have those around, like when I'm on campus and I have free time. I usually just sit in the faculty center, or I sit in the library. So if you go to TAMUCC, I'll have these just sitting out while I study. So you could grab them, you could ask me questions, we could chit chat. Yeah, maybe you can spread awareness too. October is Selective Mutism Month. Selective Mutism Awareness Month. So spread the word. Share this video. Or not, either way. But you should share this video. Spread some awareness. Yeah!